You suffocate me, I am going out. Those words from Sarah to her boyfriend kept playing in my head, but I just observed Sarah. This is not good, I thought to myself. The restaurant was cozy and inviting, its dim lighting casting a warm glow over the wooden tables. The soft hum of jazz music created an ambiance of serenity. The scent of freshly baked bread and rich sauces wafted through the air, momentarily masking the tension lingering between us. Sarah and I shared a meal, indulging in dessert and gossiping like old times. For a while, laughter came easily, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. But the mood began to shift. Sarah's phone buzzed incessantly on the table, and with each vibration, her smile faltered. She tried to mask it, but her shoulders tensed, and her fingers fidgeted with the napkin in her lap. Half joking, "Sarah, if you check your phone one more time, I might confiscate it. We're supposed to be enjoying ourselves." Forcing a smile, "Sorry. It's just, he keeps texting." Again, tilting my head, observing her, "You've been jumpy all evening. Are you okay? You don't seem like yourself tonight." Shrugging, avoiding eye contact, "I'm fine. He just worries too much, you know," raising an eyebrow. Worry doesn't sound like the right word. "You've been on edge since we left. Is it him?" Pausing, reluctant, "It's just, he doesn't like me going out. He says it's dangerous, especially with you." Unbelievable. With me? What's that supposed to mean? Sighing, fidgeting with her napkin, "He thinks you're too independent. Like, a bad influence." There's a pause as I process this. Sarah's hands tremble slightly as she folds and refolds her napkin. Gently but firmly, "Sarah, that doesn't sound like worry. That sounds controlling. Defensive," her voice rising slightly, "He's not like that all the time. He's just protective. He loves me." Protective is one thing, but texting you every minute? Not letting you have friends? That's not love, Sarah. That's control. Sarah looks torn, as if she wants to defend him but knows I'm right. She takes a deep breath and leans in, lowering her voice. Softly, "Sometimes, I feel trapped, like, if I don't do what he says, he'll just explode. And then it's my fault for making him mad. Even the guy behind us, he might have sent him." Leaning forward, my voice calm but resolute, "It is not your fault. Sarah, you deserve to feel safe and to make your own choices." Sarah looks at me, her eyes reflecting a mix of fear and longing. Hesitating, "I wish I could feel that way. But it's not that simple. He says he's doing it because he cares. And, what if he's right? What if I can't handle being on my own?" I reach across the table and gently take her hand. "Sarah, you're smart and stronger than you think. And you're not alone. No one deserves to feel like they're walking on eggshells all the time. Remember my story and many others of women in such relationships? I had to take control of my situation, make a decision, and walk away. If you're made to believe you're less without someone's influence, maybe you're right where they want you. But Sarah, you are better than that. You're smart, and you're still young. Do you remember my cousin? Don't let things to get out of hand, Sarah. You need to decide what to do, fast." Sarah nods slightly, her gaze distant. The conversation shifts into deeper territory as Sarah opens up more. "We need to start thinking of moving from here." After a pause, "Do you ever feel scared? Like you're not in control of your life?" Thoughtfully, "Sometimes. But what scares me more is not living the life I want. Letting someone else decide who I should be or where I should go. That's the real trap." Nodding slowly, "I guess. I just don't know what that kind of freedom feels like. When I go to work, he follows me. He follows me everywhere." She glances around, as if checking that no one is listening. Lowering her voice, "I need to tell you something, but please, you can't say a word until I'm sure of what's going on. I think he's into something big and dangerous. His protecting me has everything to do with it. I'll tell you more when I have all the facts. For now, let's just say, I'm investigating, and I'm working with the police." I lean back slightly, startled, but I try to remain composed. Encouragingly, "Freedom is scary at first. It's like walking in the dark. But it's worth it, and Sarah, I just hope you're not in some kind of trouble." Sarah falls silent, lost in thought. She glances at her phone again, and then, for the first time all evening, sets it face down on the table. Smiling faintly, "You make it sound so easy." Smiling back, "It's not easy. But it's worth it." Transition to the next scene. We played the slots, cheering at minor wins and groaning at our losses, letting the clinking coins and ringing bells drown out the world. For a while, it felt like we were just two friends having fun, untouched by the worries we had left at the restaurant. But the illusion didn't last. Sarah's phone buzzed again. She glanced at it and immediately stiffened. The brightness in her face dimmed as dread seeped back in. Sarah, muttering, missed calls. Again. She quickly silenced her phone, but the unease in her eyes was undeniable. I placed a reassuring hand on her arm, but the tension between us was palpable. The night was slipping away faster than we realized, and soon the weight of the hour hit us. Sarah, glancing at the time, panicked, "Oh no, it's so late. I need to get home." Her voice was strained, laced with urgency. She fumbled with her phone, desperately scrolling for an Uber. Sarah, repeatedly, her voice trembling, "He's going to kill me if I'm late." Me, trying to keep her calm, "Don't say that, Sarah. We'll figure it out." But as fate would have it, no cars were available. "Shush, I can't call him now. He will blame it all on you." The streets outside were eerily quiet, deserted except for the occasional flicker of a street lamp. The air had turned colder, biting through our thin jackets. Sarah looked around nervously, her hands shaking as she clutched her phone. It was like I was in different places at the same time, everything like was playing back and forth. Sarah and her boyfriend's arguments, as at the restaurant, everything that Sarah was telling me and us in the dark streets. Me, hesitating, but resolute, "We'll walk. It's not too far, right?" The idea of walking at this hour unsettled me, but it felt like the only option. Sarah nodded reluctantly, her fear evident. Together, we stepped out into the cold, the bright lights of the casino fading behind us as we ventured into the night. The journey home, this was a bad idea. The road ahead was engulfed in darkness, with no cars, no people, just shadows that seemed to move with the wind. What started as a seemingly safe path now felt like a corridor of fear, lined with menacing shapes our imaginations conjured from the bushes. Me, muttering under my breath, this was a very bad idea. The walk begins. We walked for what felt like hours, the glow of the city lights fading into the distance as we ventured further into the outskirts. The vibrant energy of the night dissolved, replaced by an oppressive silence that seemed to weigh heavier with every step. Sarah, groaning, "This is your fault. You're the one who suggested we walk." I was tired too, the ache in my legs growing with every step, but I bit back my frustration. Sarah's panic was rising, and I knew I couldn't afford to match it. Me, softly, "I know you're tired, but we need to stay positive. We'll get through this. Just stick close to me." But even I couldn't ignore the fear creeping into my thoughts. Every rustling bush and distant sound became a potential threat. When a car finally approached, we froze, hopeful at first. But as it slowed and then accelerated away, my heart sank. Me, forcing a steady voice, "They were probably just as scared as we are." Sarah didn't reply, her breathing quick and shallow as we approached an even more desolate area, a stretch of abandoned buildings and overgrown bushes that loomed like sentinels in the dark. We clung to each other, our fear palpable. The argument, Sarah, voice breaking, "Maybe Petrus was right about you. You're a bad influence. Look at the time, I'm calling him to come get me." Me, firmly, "You can't do that here, Sarah. If someone hears there are two women out here alone, we'll be in even more danger." I tried to sound brave, but the truth was, I was terrified. My mind raced, searching for a way out, but there were no easy answers. When we finally stopped near a massive boulder for a rest, Sarah couldn't sit still. She fidgeted, her eyes darting nervously. "Sarah, I can't stay here. What if something happens? What if he's already furious?" Me, pleading, "Sarah, it's too dangerous to leave. Please stay with me." Her face suddenly lit up as she spotted headlights in the distance. "Sarah, there's a car." She bolted before I could stop her, running toward the light with a desperation that made my stomach churn. I tried to grab her, tripped, and fell hard against the ground. Me, shouting, "Sarah, wait," but she didn't hear me, or maybe she chose not to. A car pulled over, and after a brief exchange with the driver, she climbed in. I could only watch as the taillights disappeared, leaving me in the suffocating silence of the night. The voices of men. I was alone now, the chill in the air seeping into my bones. As I huddled against the rock, exhaustion pulled me into a restless sleep, until a sudden urge to pee forced me awake. I ventured a short distance into the bushes, but just as I finished, I heard voices. Men. My heart pounded so loud it felt like the whole world could hear it. Every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs sent my imagination spiraling into dark places. I dropped flat to the ground, trying to make myself invisible. One man. I swear I saw someone out here. I think it's a woman. Gustavo's going to be happy about this. Second man. Chuckling, you are seeing things. Let's move, it's late, and I'm not sticking around. The name, Gustavo, echoed in my mind. Hadn't I heard it earlier tonight? My pulse raced as I stayed frozen, barely daring to breathe. When their voices faded, I finally moved, creeping back toward the road. The ride scene headlights appeared in the distance. Desperate, I stepped onto the road and waved. The car slowed, and a middle-aged man rolled down the window. Driver. Need a ride? Me. Hesitating, yes, thank you. As I climbed in, the man studied me with a mix of curiosity and concern. Driver. What are you doing out here at this hour? It's dangerous. You know, crime is high, especially for women. I gave him a vague explanation, mentioning Sarah and the night gone wrong. Driver. You're lucky I stopped. Most people wouldn't. His words were unsettling, but his tone seemed genuine. As the ride went on, though, he grew quieter, stealing glances at me that made my skin crawl. Driver. After a long silence, you shouldn't be out here alone. Why don't you crash at my place for the night? It's safer than wandering these roads. Every instinct screamed at me to refuse, but exhaustion clouded my judgment. Me. Whispering, okay. The arrival at his house. The house was large and well kept, with a pristine lawn that felt eerily out of place given the night's events. Inside, family photos lined the walls, but something about them felt off, too perfect. A sword, a knife, and a gun case sat in a distant corner, adding to my unease. Driver. Smiling, my wife's a cop. She works night shifts, so it's just us for now. You'll be safe here. His words didn't comfort me. I can sleep in the garage. It's better than outside, and your wife won't find a stranger in her home. Driver. Waving it off, don't worry. She won't be back until morning. Something in his tone made my stomach tighten, but I was too tired to argue. I took the coffee he offered and retreated to the guest room, trying to shake the sense of dread. Just as I began to doze off, he knocked on the door. Driver. Are you okay in there? If you feel unsafe, you can sleep in my room. Me. Firmly, no, thank you. I'm fine here. But as the night stretched on, muffled voices and distant noises kept me awake, questioning if I was truly safe, or if I had just walked into another danger. I woke to the sound of a door slamming. The wife's arrival. The sound of footsteps grew louder and louder, the jingle of keys cutting through the silence, followed by the slam of a door and the sharp thud of heavy boots on the floor. Wife. Why didn't you call me? How could you do this? Andrew. I thought it was nothing, Lena. Don't be like that, we're human, after all. Lord. Wife. You're putting us in danger. How can you be so sure she's not part of those gangs we keep reading about? I told you, Andrew. Are you cheating on me? Who is she that you couldn't even consult me first? Her voice dripped with anger and suspicion. I felt like a shadow, invisible but at the center of their storm. The gun scene. What is her name, Andrew? A voice demanded. I froze. Oh, his name is Andrew. I hadn't asked, and I hadn't told him mine either. Andrew's voice cracked under the weight of the situation. I told you, Lena. I found this woman stranded on the street. It didn't feel right leaving her there alone at that hour. The tension in the room thickened. Footsteps approached, heavy and deliberate. The door burst open, revealing a woman in a police uniform. Her face was a mask of fury, her eyes scanning the room as though searching for danger. Wife. Who is this? She barked, her hand hovering over the gun holstered at her side. Andrew. She needed a place to stay. I was just trying to help. Her eyes narrowed as they locked onto me. Do you have any idea how dangerous it is to bring a stranger into our home? Do you even know what kind of people are out there? Before I could respond, she pulled the gun from her holster and pointed it directly at me. Wife. Get up, she growled, her voice steady but laced with anger. The room spun. The barrel of the gun seemed to grow larger, consuming my vision. Words stuck in my throat as panic surged through me. Thoughts of Sarah flooded my mind. Ooh, Sarah? We were supposed to stick together? Are you safe wherever you are? Look now, I'm about to die without knowing. Or are we meeting in heaven? I finally found my voice. Me. Ma'am, it's true. I was stranded, and your husband felt pity for me. That's all there is to it. I swear. Her grip on the gun didn't falter. She seemed ready to act on an unseen trigger, her anger fueled by more than just my presence. Maybe her husband really is a cheat, I thought. Why else would she be so worked up, ready to kill? Suddenly, I screamed at the top of my lungs, desperate for help. Neighbors must have heard because moments later, I saw flickering red and blue lights piercing through the night. The police arrived. A knock rattled the door. Neighbor. Lena? Andrew? We called the police. Are you okay? Police officer, Lena? Lieutenant Lindeck? Open up. Andrew hesitated but finally opened the door. Several police officers stormed in, their presence commanding. They quickly disarmed Lena, and the room seemed to breathe again. Police officer. Lena, we are actually here to fetch you. There's an emergency. We have a major lead on our case. Our informant just called. He turned to me. Young lady, we'll drop you home. It seems you live in the same vicinity. I know you, I have seen you with someone I know some time ago. There was a shooting near your neighborhood, so we'll escort you. Be at the station tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. We still need to talk to you. Final scene. Sarah's place. As the police car approached my neighborhood, dread crept over me. Flashing lights illuminated a familiar house. Me. No. This is Sarah's place. What happened here? My friend Sarah lives here. No. The officer stopped me as I tried to bolt out of the car. Police officer. Lady, you can't be here. There was a multiple homicide. Just go home, but I couldn't stop myself. I screamed Sarah's name, my voice tearing through the chaos. Then, I saw her, on a stretcher, being loaded into an ambulance. I ran to her, sobbing uncontrollably. We hugged tightly, both of us shaking. Sarah. Gustavo has escaped but his mafia friends are dead. There was a shootout. I want to change, to turn to the Lord. I want to watch those videos with you and go to church. We cried until our tears felt endless. A sudden realization. Someone shook me gently. I opened my eyes to see my son standing by my bed. I was home. Drenched in sweat, heart pounding, I sat up, trembling. It had all been a dream. But the fear lingered, as did the lessons. The fragments of the night replayed in my mind. Sarah, the walk, the car, the house, the gun, the shooting. It felt so real. I had peed my bed, embarrassing. The church plan was real. I must find myself a church. Message. This story is a powerful reminder of how one night of poor planning and misplaced trust can spiral into dangerous situations. It emphasizes the importance of always prioritizing safety and being prepared. Nights out may seem harmless, but without proper precautions, they can lead to regrettable outcomes. Always ensure you have a reliable way home, avoid walking in unsafe areas, and never let desperation cloud your judgment. Desperation can lead to poor decisions, and in some cases, there may not be a second chance. Stay alert, stay prepared, and always put your safety first. This world is filled with challenges and unholy influences. We must remember to turn to God, surrender our fears to Him, and allow His guidance to light our way. God answers prayers and wishes for us to lean on Him in faith, trusting that He will protect and direct us. Choose your friends wisely. Healthy relationships are meant to build us up, not drag us down. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, encourage you, and respect your values. Just walk away from toxic and abusive relationships. The message is clear. Safety is not a gamble, and our faith can be a guiding light in the darkest moments. Plan wisely, trust sparingly, and always walk in faith and vigilance. From that day on, I promised myself to plan better and to never let desperation cloud my judgment. Sometimes, there are no second chances. Remember, you can blame anyone you like for your choices, but at the end of the day, it's on you.